So today we are diving deeper into Colab. We'll try to understand the file system on Colab, and as well as transferring code between Colab and other IDEs, because the approach I want us to really use is that we use Colab simultaneously with desktop-based IDEs. Colab is really good, but it requires internet, okay? And you can also not use it for like a full application development. You need, it's not a complete IDE, okay? But it has its own advantages, because it's online. It makes things easier for you. You can share your code with people easily. You can create a tutorial because you can embed comments and things like that. So we will keep it. But there are times when you also need to use, desktop-based IDEs like Spider, which is what I recommend for this session, because it's really good. That's what I use as well. And then I would also take you through downloading data from online sources, and that's really key. If you want to do, if you want to use Python for data science, okay, you need data sources, and so you should be able to download these data directly to your PC, from your Python environment. Then finally, I will take you through a detailed overview of Spider. I did a brief overview last week, but after going through the video, I realized that it was too general. There were a lot of things I skipped, that are relevant, so I'll just go through them again today. Okay, so let's go straight away to Colab, okay, and explore its file system. Okay, just as a recap on how to access Colab. So you need your Google account. So this is my Google account. So I go to Drive. So in my Drive, this is the view of my Drive. So in my Drive, I click New, which is just the way you open any Google document. So go to More, and you'll see Google Collaboratory. Okay, if this is your first time of using Google Colab, you won't see this, okay, but I refer you to my previous video. Okay, I outlined how you could install Google Colab. Okay, so I click this, and this will open a blank notebook for me. Okay, so this is the classic Google Colab view. Okay, now we want to explore the file system. Okay, as I said last week, this notebook is not running on your computer at all. It's running on the cloud. Okay, it's when you open this, this page gets connected to one of Google's powerful computers. Okay, so it's a remote computer somewhere in the US, I'm sure. Okay, so you click this to connect to one of those computers. Well, you don't really need to click this bit, because the moment you start executing codes, or it will automatically connect, so don't worry about that. So okay, so you come to the left edge of your screen and click this. Okay, so when you click this, you will see like a display of the directories here. Okay, so this is the directory of the computer you're connected to. Okay, this is just sample data that Google included that you can use to to run certain processes. So these are CSV and JSON files, so they're just sample really. So okay, now to understand this file system, let's click this arrow here. Okay, so when you click this arrow, this is the full view. So these are the directories, or these are the folders in this directory. Okay, in the directory you're working in. Okay, but you really don't have business with most of them. Okay, the only folder you have business with is this. Okay, this content folder, because this is where all the files you upload directly to Google Colab reside. So if you click upload and you upload a file, it's this is where it sits. Okay, it resides here. So the path to your data will be slash content. Okay, it's fine, it will be slash content. Okay, and what we have now, sampled data. So if the folder you upload is called A, so the path to that folder will be A. But that's simple, you don't need to memorize that, because if you want to know the path to your folder or to your file, just click these three dots here and you see a drop down menu, and from this menu you can just click copy path. Okay, so when you click copy path, you see exactly, so that's the path, that's the absolute path to your folder, or to your file. Okay, so that's fine. So now let's see. Okay, let's say we want to upload a file, okay, from my computer. Okay, so we go to upload, so just click upload, and straight away it opens this dialog and you see just the files on your computer. Okay, so let's say here we want to upload, okay, let's say we want to upload code. Good. Okay, so we want good. I think we'll only upload a file. That's what we can do. Data. Okay, good. Let me do this. Okay, so click upload. Now it tells you something, that reminder, uploaded files will get deleted when this runtime is cycled. So this is something you should bear in mind. So all the files you upload directly to Google Colab will be destroyed. Well, when it says, what it means by destroy is that you would lose them, okay, the next time you log on to Google Colab. So you should just note that. If you want to keep the files there is another way, and I'll show you later. Okay, so you click OK, and that file is uploaded. Okay, just click refresh. Okay, let's see. Okay, not sure we were able to upload. Okay, well, let me see. Let's see. Okay, it's still uploading anyway, so you can actually see if the file is large or something. You can actually see it. You can monitor the upload progress here at the bottom of your screen. Okay, so whilst that happens, let me show you how to mount your Google Drive. Okay, because as I said earlier, the files or folders uploaded this way, you can use them now, that's fine, but when as soon as you close this session, you won't find them there again, and you don't want that. So what you can do to get around that is you connect your Google Drive. Okay, I think everyone has about 15 gig of storage in their Google Drive, so that could hold a lot of data. So if you want to do that, you could save everything on a Google Drive, just the normal way, like this, and later connect Google Colab to a Google Drive. And how do you do that? Okay, you definitely see here, right? You see Mount Drive clearly. So what you do is you click on Mount Drive. Okay, so when you click on Mount Drive, you get this dialog that that tells you stuff, okay, that connecting to Google Drive will permit code, just like a disclaimer. Okay, and so what you do is you click connect to Google Drive. So as soon as you click connect to Google Drive, you see this. Okay, so this means your Google Drive is actually mounted, because what you see now is on Mount Drive. Okay, and as soon as that happens, you see that a new folder appears in the content folder. Okay, so this folder is called Drive. Okay, and if you click on Drive, you see my Drive. My Drive is your Google Drive. Okay, if you click the arrow, then you see all the files you have on the Google Drive. Okay, and these files are there permanently. So you cannot lose them, unless you delete them. Okay, so files uploaded to this location are always there. They are always available. Okay, but sometimes mounting Google Drive is not straightforward. Okay, it was easy here because I had mounted my drive before. Okay, so to show you what happened, the other possibility that you could encounter, let me just open one. Okay, good. Let me open this. Okay, now let's see what will happen here. Okay, it's initializing. Okay, now I want to click Mount Drive. Okay, good. Now when you click Mount Drive, in this case, you can see that it does not open the dialog that we saw previously. Instead, what you see is you see this message. It tells you run this cell to mount your Google Drive. Okay, so all you have to do is click on this arrow here and it will run the code. Okay, and you see this response. Go to this URL in your browser. So click on that URL. It takes you to this. Choose an account. So assuming you have several accounts on your computer, you just choose the account you want to connect. So choose this, and it says a lot of stuff. Don't even read, just say allow, and now you get this code here. Okay, so copy this code and paste the code here. Click enter and wait for, now it has told you mounted, so it has mounted your drive, but wait for some refresh. Now when you refresh, you definitely see, okay, you see that your drive has been mounted just as before. Okay, so good. So now our drive is mounted. So let's go back to, okay, good. So now that we have this drive mounted, okay, let me mount this on the drive easily. Yeah. Now let's explore the file system further. Okay. I don't know if you've, well, definitely you who have done coding before would know what we mean by working directory. Okay, when we say your working directory or your current directory, okay, as the name implies, your current directory is just the directory that processes run in Colab sit. Okay, that's like the default address. So for example, if you request for a file, okay, then Colab automatically by default looks in that location first. Okay, so the location that all the processes, okay, point to is your working directory. Okay, and this directory, as expected, can be changed. Definitely, you can set it to any directory. Okay, so now let's see, how do you know which directory is your working directory? Okay, there's a really simple code. Okay, and that code is pwd. Okay, so just type pwd and click run. Now you can see, so here our working directory is content, so it means we are in content. Okay, so when you run this code, the default location, okay, if you specify if the name of a file without specifying the full path to that file, Colab will look in this location. Okay, this is the location Colab goes. Or if you tell Colab to save something, it saves it in this location by default, unless you specify the exact location that it should save that particular item. Okay, so now how do we change the directory? Okay, or how do we determine the content of this directory? Okay, so to determine the content of this directory, just write ls. Okay, ls and run. Okay, so when you run this, it tells you can see that there are two elements in this directory. Okay, there's an element called drive and there's another element called sample data. Okay, and I used elements on purpose because it could be a file, it could be a folder. If it's blue, then it means it's a folder. Okay, if it's black, it's a file. Okay, so let's upload a file to this location. Okay, I'm still gonna look at this. Good. Why did I choose this one? it takes so long. Okay, whilst that happens, okay, let's go. Okay, now let's say I want to change the directory, okay, to my Google Drive. Okay, so the syntax for this is cd. So cd is the syntax for change directory. So cd, change directory. Okay, and so what you do is you write cd and write the full path to the directory you want to change to. Okay, and how do you get that full path? It's easy. So just click on this, say copy full path, paste here. Okay, so this is going to, so if you run this straight away, you see, it's, so now your current directory is your my drive. So if you run ls or if you run pwd now, you automatically see that that you are in this directory. So anything you save will be saved in your Google Drive. Okay, I think that is clear. So if we let's list all the files in this directory. So ls again, and you can see, voila. So you see these are, so all the blue ones are folders and the black ones are files. Okay, I think that is very, very, very clear. Okay, but let's look at something very interesting. So now if I just write cd without specifying the directory and run, it takes me to the root directory. So like it's like the parent, the overall directory. Okay, because these are just subfolders or sub directories. So now if we write ls, see, we won't get this again. So we are no longer in this. So just so you know. Okay, but even though this is one, okay, well, this is just one way to change directory or to determine your current working directory. Okay, it's you can't really use this. Okay, you can use these syntaxes say in the console. Okay, but if you're writing like a big program and you're doing this in your text editor, okay, then these syntaxes are not really recommended, okay, and I'll just show you the recommended way to do it. So for this, you would have to import a package, okay, import OS, okay. A package in Python is just a set of code, okay, or a sort of modules that have been put together to perform a given task, okay. So and it's it's a really good way to package code, so the user does not have to interact with the actual code. They just use minimal syntax to get what they want. So we import OS, okay, so that's the package, and now we make use of certain functions in this package to do what we did earlier, okay. So now if we want to get the current directory, okay, if we want to get the current directory, so you just write OS dot, because we are using this package now, okay. So OS, so when you write OS dot, okay, I need to run this easily to show you something. So now you write OS, so you see, so as soon as you write, you can see that Colab brings down suggestions for you of, these are the various I don't want to call them, but I'll just say functions, okay, the various functions that are in this package that you can use to get what you want, okay. To get the current directory, we just want to use get cwd, okay. So get cwd, you run this, it tells you you're in the root directory. So get cwd is just the equivalent of pwd previously, okay. So let's say we want to list the contents of, okay, let's say we want to change our directory, okay, to, let's say, drive. So copy path. So again, we say os dot change directory, so ch that, and we write so now in this case we put the path of the directory inside these brackets and inside quotes, because this tells Colab that this is text, okay, that this is a string. So you run this, then it definitely has changed. But how do you know that it has changed? You run, this tells you, so this tells you that you're in this directory. So you can list the elements of this directory. Again, it's os dot list directory. So that, and it tells you, so these are the files and folders in this directory. So that's, folks, that's really all about working directory, changing the directories. It's pretty basic. You don't need to memorize it, okay. These are things you could just find on the internet, and definitely after several applications, you would have learned them by heart, really. So no need to worry too much, okay. So let's go to the next step of downloading data from the internet, okay. So let's say you want to download data from a website, okay, and for this I want us to use one of my okay, let's go to my, okay, good. So this is GitHub. This is a repository, okay, and we want to download this data, this CSV file, okay. So what you do is you right click copy the address. So even if it's not GitHub, as long as you know the address, okay, the address of the data, so just get that address. So we come to Colab. Okay, so now let's see what the syntax is for that. Okay, the syntax for that is, hold on, my keyboard. Okay, good. So you have to start with this exclamation mark and write "we-get." Okay, then put the paste the address, the web address for your data. Okay, people who have used Linux or Unix systems before will recognize this syntax. Okay, and basically if you're running like a Unix or Linux terminal command in Python, you have to precede that with an exclamation mark. Then that tells Python that you're running a terminal command. Okay, so then you click enter, so it's automatically going to download this for you. But guess what? Okay, it downloads this to your current folder, to your current working directory, because as I said earlier, your current working directory is the default, is the default directory for Colab. Now we should be in content. Let's check where we are. We are in content, so let's run this again. Great, and see if it will go to content. Yeah, it's here. So that's where it goes. Okay, it goes to your current directory basically. So but you know, assuming you really want to save this data in a certain directory. Okay, you know, you don't want it to get saved to your current working directory. Okay, so there are two ways to do this. So let's say test drive. Okay, good. So now we want to download to test drive. So you just, I'm looking for test drive. Where are you? RST. Okay. Now it's lost. Okay, good. Test drive is here. Okay, so copy path. Okay, so let's say we want to download to test drive. Okay, so one thing we can do is change the current directory to test drive. Okay, so let's say change directory to test drive. Good. We run this again. Okay, refresh. So you go to test drive, it is there. Okay, so that's one way. Okay, now let's delete this. Okay, let's delete this again. Okay, so now let's say we don't want to do that. Okay, we want to create the folder and download the data simultaneously. Okay, so what you do is you copy. Okay, you copy this, but you add another command. Okay, you add another command and say -p, capital P, then write the path to the folder. Okay, and again bear in mind that if you just write say a name, then it is going to create this folder in your current working. What's our current working directory? Oh, internal Python error in the inspect module. Okay, good. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so we can't definitely say where we are using that command. Let's see if we can use it using pwd. Okay, there's an error again. Okay, so restart runtime. Okay, this is just like restart your PC when you start having issues. So restart runtime, but only you will lose the variables you created earlier. Okay, so now let's see again if we can tell where we are. pwd, it's initializing, it's fine. Yeah, so you see, so the problem is solved. Okay, so we know where we are in content. Okay, so let's run this again. Okay, so if we run this, okay, now you see, so it's test drive is here and you have to, so that's really basically it. Okay, so that's one way. Okay, then there is something else you would like to know. Okay, so assuming now we are on GitHub, like here, okay, and now we're not only interested in one file. Okay, say we want to okay, hold on, we want to download an entire folder. Okay, public, and you just need to do this random. Don't worry about these. These are not for you actually. I just need to do this so that I can because the repository I was working in was private. Okay, and if the repository is private, you cannot download anything from it, so I need to make it public so that I can download from it. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so so let's say I want to download this entire repository. Okay, it's called cloning. Okay, you want to clone this repository, so you just want to have a copy. Okay, so you click this and copy the link as we did before. Okay, but here we are not trying to download we're not trying to download okay, I don't know why it's giving me wrong. Okay, this is fine. Okay, we're not trying to download a file. Okay, we are trying to clone an entire repository. Okay, so we use a different command for that. So here again you say git clone and you put the address. Okay, and if you click this to run, it's going to download. And as before, if you do not specify a file, I mean a folder, then it's going to download the entire repository in your current directory. Okay, and you can see that the default name is just the name of the repository here, random. Okay, so that is that. But again, if you do not want this, you want the files to be saved in a folder of your choice, again you do something totally different. Okay, well, no, I don't want to say totally different. So what you have to do is you just add the name of the folder or the path to the folder. Okay, so now we want to do this to my drive. We want to just save it in my drive. Okay, so you say copy path, okay, and just paste. So it's just git clone, so you just paste the path to your folder. Good. Too many arguments. So okay, I think here should be fine. Okay, destination path already exists and it's not an empty directory. Okay, so which means let's add a name, because this directory already exists. Because what it does is that it checks, okay, if there is a directory with that name, then it tries to overwrite it. Okay, But since this directory is not empty, then Colab does not do it. It tells you, that's why you have fatal error. So now let's add a name. Okay, so let's say we want to save it to the directory called this is salon. Okay, salon. So good, now you're done, and I want you to pick something up. Okay, you see that the name of this drive is my drive. Okay, but here I put my, then backward slash drive. Okay, because if you don't put this, Python will interpret this as like two different entities. Okay, so because you have that space there, so just put this dash, then it tells Python or Colab that that's not an ordinary space. Okay, that it's part of the name of that folder or something. So now if we go to content drive, my drive salon, which is just my Google Drive, we should be able to see. Okay, I need to refresh. We should be able to see salon there. Can't see salon. Okay, I'll look for it. Oh, good, here, up here. Okay, so in fact I forgot that these are all files. So salon is here. Okay, and now the contents of this repository, stakeholder analysis and readme, are all saved in this location. Okay, on my Google Drive. So that's really it. Regarding downloading data from websites or something. I know, for now most of you would want to start coding, but I believe in first principles. Okay, I believe in understanding the basic, the fundamental principles of programming or coding before starting with the actual app, because once you start coding, these are things you're going to be using every day. Okay, you're going to need to use. Okay, so it's high time you knew how to use those now rather than later. Okay, so the next procedure on my list is how to unzip folders. Okay, because if you notice, okay, if you're using upload, you cannot upload folders. Okay, you only upload files. Okay, so if you want to upload a folder from your PC, so what you have to do is, well, as you would do with any other, like with emails or something, you just zip it. Okay, so assuming you have uploaded a zipped folder, how do you unzip it? Okay, so let's create a zip folder here. So let's say we want to create a zip folder called tests. Okay, so this is the folder, so let's create two subfolders. Test, let's say test 5. Let's create another one, test 6. Good. Now let's zip it, compress test. So now we have test compressed. So okay, I want to you don't have to reset the runtime every time. Okay, I'm just doing this so we have a less a view with less texts. Good. So now let's upload. So we go to where did we create it? Okay, good. This is the zip. So we have a zip folder here. Okay, so now let's unzip this. Okay, so again you use the syntax and it's really simple. Unzip. Okay, unzip. Okay, and you write the path to the folder. And again, I must remind you, if you do not write a full path, then Colab will assume that the file is in your current directory. So if it's not in your current directory, or as a rule of thumb, in fact, always use the full path specification. Okay, don't just say test.zip. Okay, so now let's get the full path. Okay, so the full path here is, so we write the full path here, zip. And again, something you should note, whenever you use these terminal commands, these commands with the exclamation mark at the beginning, you don't enclose the path in inverted commas or so, because they're not strings. Okay, you only do this if you're using like this OS package. So that's something to note. So this is the path to the folder. Okay, and we can just say unzip. Okay, so if you refresh, so your test folder is here, it's unzipped. Okay, that's one. Okay, but let's assume you do not want these you don't want to show this writing, which I don't recommend, because that's what tells you that it's been unzipped, unless you include this in some long program and you don't want them displaying. But assuming you don't want it to display that, you just say -q. This just means quiet. Okay, and run. Now, because we have a folder called test, it's asking us, do you want to replace, yes or no or all. So let's just say yes. So just write y, enter. Yes, we don't care, so that's fine. So it's there. Okay, but let's say we want to save it to a folder with a different name. Okay, you can do that again. So what you do here is you write -d. Okay, so you write the name of the folder that you want. Again, if you just write a name, then it saves it. It creates that folder in your current directory. Okay, but if you don't want that, you could specify the full path. Okay, so let's say we want this to save it in Dolo. Good. So and run. Okay, so now there should be Hindolo here. Okay, and with the file unzipped. Okay, so that's all really. With well, that's everything about unzipping. Okay, you should explore, because there are other file types, not just .zip. There are I think .tar or things like that. So, and these are all online, so you really don't need to worry about them. Just Google how to unzip a .zip file, or a .zip folder, or a .tar file or something, and you should be able. The point is just to know how to use this environment, and the rest should be very easy for you. Okay, now let's go to running Python codes. Okay, so we have been doing different things. Okay, and because, as I said earlier, we would be using Colab, and other and desktop based IDEs simultaneously, then it's good to actually show you that you can run your normal Python files, that's .py files in Colab. Okay, good. Let's go to my drive, because I think I have a Python file here. Okay, good, great. This is it. Okay, so this is my Python file. Okay, let me just click, and you see that it will open. Okay, I don't want to see those guys. So this file has opened here. So this side is what we call this is a scratch cell. Okay, this is like for your rough work. Okay, so you can edit this file here, because you cannot run it directly here. Okay, because this is a .py, as you can see, and this is a notebook. Okay, so this code cannot run here directly. Okay, so what you do is, okay, you run this command, and again, something you have to know. Okay, it's the same thing. Start with, you write Python 3, because this is I think Colab, this session of Colab is using Python 3, and Python 3 really is the latest version, and that's what I would recommend anyone to use. So you write Python 3, okay, and you write the name of the file that you want to run. Okay, and here, this is the file. Okay, so the file we want to run is sna heatmap.py. okay, this is the file. Okay, so you click run. Yes, and the reason why it's not running is because our current directory, okay, just check what your current directory is. Our current directory is content, okay, and this file resides here it resides in my drive in the folder Python codes. So what we can do is either use the full path, which is what I recommend always, or we change our current directory to this directory. Okay, and if we change our current directory to this directory, then we can use the name directly without having to specify. Okay, and so let's get the full path to this file. Okay, copy path. Now let's use that here. Okay, I'm gonna close this. So you see, so now if we run this, why? S and a heat map. Content. Can't open file content drive. Oh, again, my fault. Oh, it should work without this. Okay, let's see. Yes. So we go now. Yes. Again, just what I told you earlier, because of that space, you know, even I keep forgetting. So as a rule of thumb, really, always try to use single names for your file and folder names. Okay, or even if you're using multiple names, but don't leave space between them, or if you want to leave space, use underscore, then that makes it easier for you. So now you see, this is, we have run this file easily. Okay, here for us. Good. Okay, now let's see. So we can even change, you know, you can edit, we can like edit this file here, and you know, we still run it, and you know, it runs just okay without any issues. So let's see, ELT let's show. Okay, so save this, and let's reduce the number of samples to, you don't need to worry about this. I'm just actually trying to show you that you can run Python codes from here. So you see, so you edit and you run, and you know, and everything is just working okay for you. Okay, let's see. So okay, that's really all for running Python codes. It's not rocket science. It's, you know, it's pretty straightforward. In fact, one thing I forgot to tell you is that when you run this, okay, you run it like this, you don't always get output. Okay, so if you want an output, you have to tell Python to print. So assuming you're running a big file, okay, you actually have to tell Python to print something. That's the only time you can see an output. So like now, if I comment out, okay, good. If I actually comment out this section, that's that line of code, and run, I'm not getting any output here. Okay, so that's something to note. If you're just using oh, hold on please, someone is trying to join. Okay, good. So now let's see. Okay, and that's really a drawback. Okay, it's a big drawback, because sometimes you run these codes, okay, you want to use the output, maybe you want to use it in another function or something, so you want it to return a value for you. Okay, so one way you could do that is, instead of using like running it as Python 3 run the file, you import it as a module. Okay, a module in Python is just a file that has several, well, it could even be one line of Python code. Okay, but normally it has functions, many functions that you can use to to complete couple of tasks. Okay, so now what we do is, if we want this to work, we import that file, this file here. Okay, we import it, we don't run it. Okay, you import. Okay, and now how do you import? Okay, for us to import this file correctly, we have to do two things. The first thing is, we should either be in the our working directory should be the directory that contains this file. Okay, or we can add the directory that contains this file to the current Python path. Okay, and I'm gonna show you both options. Okay, so let's use the first one. Okay, where let's get to let's make our current directory the directory that has this file. Okay, and this directory is Python codes. Okay, so copy this directory. So now we know how to change that directory, and there's several ways. So let's use cd. Okay, cd, we put this, and okay, so, and you can confirm that with pwd we are now in this directory. Okay, so since we are in that directory, so what we do is we just say import. Now start typing. You see, as soon as you start typing, because you're in this directory, Colab begins to suggest names to you. Okay, and you have already seen SNE, so just take this heat map. And one thing to note, okay, even though the file is saved as sneheatmap.py, because we're using imports, you don't need to add the py there. Okay, and because we're using imports, you also don't need to use the full path at all. It won't work. Okay, so for example, let's say py. You see, there's an error. It tells us that no module named sneheatmap.py. Okay, because Colab knows that it's based on Python 3. Okay, so any module you import should be Python. It should be a Python module. So good. Now, okay, where is it? Okay, let's see. Good. Okay, now we need to reload because we have already run an import code. So just allow me to run this SNE. heat map dot score. Oh, it actually ran. Why didn't I see any plot? I was looking for a plot. Okay, but let me show you what's. Let me tell you what's happening here. Okay. Okay, I'll do this here. Save. Okay, good. Okay, now we have run this. Okay, so when you run this, basically you import it. What Colab does is that it executes. Basically, it executes all these codes, like these lines of code in this file. Okay, and if this line, if this script has variables, then it assigns these variables. It attaches these variables to the name of the module. Okay, so the module we imported is SNA heat map. Okay, so this n is a variable, x is a variable, y is a variable, score is a variable here. So it will attach these variables to that module. Okay, so that's one way you can get these values and use them in a further analysis. So like score here is like the final result, and basically if you just write SNA heat map score, you get the actual like the actual variable, not just the printout. Okay, so you can export this and use it for something else. Okay, so let's clear this. Okay, so if you, let's say we want a SNA heat map n, you see n is 100 and n is actually 100 here. So this is one way you could run a Python file to get an output. Okay, so if you, let's say if we change this, now let me show you something. So let's say we actually change this one and run it again, run import. Okay, we have changed this to 1000. Now let me run this. You still say it's 100. Okay, and that is a classic behavior of Python. Not normally it executes an import statement only once. Okay, so, and that's because it wants to save, like save memory. It just wants to be efficient. Okay, because if let's say we have several import statements, because normally when you write a Python code, you're using several modules, several packages. Okay, and you always import them at the top, well, mostly at the top of the script. Okay, so if for every time you run that script, Python imports those packages and modules, then that's going to take some time to run. So to save time, Python only does that, executes that import statements, that import statement once, for the same module. So like when we run this now, Python is actually not doing it. It says no, I have imported this. So if you want that to happen, one way you could do is reset runtime, but that's not good because you're losing all other variables as well. So what you can do is you import let's hope I've not forgotten. You import, okay, good, import library. Okay, then import library. Okay, let me just, I like running it fast, so it actually gives you hints. Okay, so import library dot reload. Okay, so you reload. So instead of doing import now, you just say reload. Okay, and straight away it will do it for you. So now you see, now it's 1000. So if we SNA heat map n is 1000 now. Okay, and you can actually see what you want. So let's say we want to change this plot to red. don't bother, don't worry about the SNA heatmap code. Okay, you're not there yet. What I want you to understand is just how to run Python codes in Colab. Okay, so let's say I change this one to blue. I want blue. It's Google is resetting my runtime, so that's what happens. So that's one of the disadvantages of Colab again, because it's not your own computer, and sometimes if there's a glitch in the network, or things will just restart. So I need to open the code again. This is actually our last item for today, so after this we just call it a day. Okay, so let's say, okay, I want to run blue. Okay, yeah, Chelsea blue. Okay, so again, there, now if I just run nothing, no output, as I said earlier, because import statements are executed once. Okay, so I need to do reload. So reload, voila. So this is a really good platform, so you don't have to limit yourself that, okay, it only runs notebooks, it doesn't run Python codes. No, you can definitely run codes between Colab and your desktop based IDE. So for example, if you want to run, like design a tutorial for someone, so this is really good. So you could do it and share with them, or you want to share your work online, so you can do it in Colab, because the next person does not need to have Python or anything installed on their PC. They can just run it online as well. So and that's pretty convenient. Okay, or you want to run machine learning codes. Okay, you want to solve some problem. Okay, and you can use this free resource, and run it on Google servers. Okay, so let me show you the second way. Okay, so let's say you don't want to cd to the directory that contains, okay, for this, good, you don't want to cd for this. I need to restart, so that we start with a clean slate. Okay, so what do you do if you don't want to keep cding to the directory containing that script all the time? Okay, so one thing you could do is add that directory to the current Python path. Okay, and how do you do that? Okay, so for this you have to import another package called system, so sys. So you import sys. So this you will learn about sys later, or I suggest even when you go like after this, you could just Google a bit, and say a Python package sys, and you see learn about its features, what it does. Okay, if you want to code in Python, you'll be dealing with lots of packages, and even you can create your own package. Okay, so sys, so let's import sys. Okay, so if you import sys has a property called path. So this property, okay, holds like the folders or the directories on the current Python path. Okay, so these parts these directories are what we have on the current Python path. Okay, and what that means is that when you reference something, okay, so Python looks, or when you attempt to import a package or a module, okay, what Python does is that it goes into this list, okay, and looks in each of these folders, directory. So it starts with this first one. So it looks in that directory. If it doesn't find what it's looking for, it goes to the next one. Okay, and it stops only when it finds. Okay, if it doesn't find that in any of these, and you did not specify the absolute path to, well, in fact, for modules you don't need to specify absolute paths. So if it doesn't find them in any of these, then it throws an error for you. Okay, so what we have to do now is just add the path to the folder holding this file to this location or to this list. Okay, finish. Okay, and how do you do that? Okay, so you say sys path, okay, append. This is the syntax you use to add. Append here means add to the last position. Okay, so you append. So let's go. We go to Python codes. Okay, this is the direct. It's just to warn you, it's not this that you're adding. It's just the folder containing that. So copy path. Okay, so copy path. Perfect. So you run it. So it's there. But how do you know it's there? So let's just run this. And now you can see this folder is appended, okay, to what was there originally. Okay, and as long as this is there, we can definitely use this now. Okay, so just say import and you're there. And this is really the best way, because as long as it's there, I mean, as long as you've added it to the Python path, it remains there. Okay, in fact, there's a way you could permanently add a folder or a directory to the Python path. So whenever you open your, well, I'm not sure it's possible in Colab, but it's possible in Spider or something. Okay, so whenever you open your IDE, you know, the directories you need most are already there. Okay, so on the same thing, so if we change, let's say we want more samples now. I want 10,000 samples. Okay, I want 10,000 samples. Again, similarly, if we run this, nothing. Okay, so we have to import this library, then we reload. Now you're here. So this is really straightforward and simple. Okay, and now assuming you want to remove this folder from the Python path, let's assume. Okay, so, and it's also really simple. Just instead of append, you actually just say remove. So simple. Remove, run. It's not there again, so now it's no longer there. Okay, that is it. It's fine. So the last bit now, okay, the last bit is, and for this let me, okay, for this let's see what I want to do. Okay, let's download this. You could actually download, because now I've shown you, how to run a Python code from Colab. Okay, now I want to show you how you could change or transform a Colab notebook to a Python code. Okay, or how you could run this notebook on another platform, like a desktop based IDE. Okay, so if you go to file, you see there are two options here: download.ipy notebook. This means it will be downloaded as a Jupyter notebook, and which means you can only open it with Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook, or I think Jupyter Lab. I've never used Jupyter Lab, but I'm sure you can open it with Jupyter Lab as well, or download.py. So if you click download.py, it's going to download. Yeah, keep. Okay, your computer might ask you this question: this type of file can harm your computer. Do you want? Yes, I want to keep it. Okay, so it's there. So now let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's say we want to run that file on Spider. You know, this was a file we okay, I'll just launch it from here. It takes some time, right? Because it's going to initialize, it's going to load the modules I need. That's what it's doing, loading console, loading a couple of things. So that's why it takes time. Good. Okay, so now let's see. We're not dealing with this today, we don't have time. Okay, I don't care. So now let's open the file we downloaded. Okay, the .py should be here. Okay, well, yeah, .py. Good. Okay, now you see, so this is it. So all the text has been formatted as text here, which is green. Okay, good. And the code is still code. So because the code is still code, no module named Google. Okay, I shouldn't have. Don't worry, I'm gonna comment. Good. Okay, good. Okay, let's see. Okay, great. So you see, simple. It's running here without any changes. Okay, it's fine. So which means most of the codes I will share with you in this session, you could just download them and run it on your IDE, assuming you don't have internet access or or something. Okay, or you just want to try them on Spider. So this is really answering the question I think Abubakar asked last week. That what do I suggest? What do I recommend? So I recommend you use both, simultaneously, on a needs basis. Okay, so when you need Google Colab, if what you want to do, could be done best with Google Colab, use Colab. Okay, if what you want to do could be could be done best by Spider, use Spider. Okay, so good. Now let's go. Okay, so let's say why. Okay, good. So let's open this one, the dot, and see what happens. Okay, so you see this is unreadable because it's not a Python code. Okay, it's not a Python file, it's a .ipynb. Okay, so this interpreter does not understand it. Okay, so you can only run it on a Jupyter notebook. That's outside. It's actually, well, it's not too outside, but I'll just run it so you see exactly. So you can run it on Jupyter notebook and it will be okay, good. To look just like, okay, now so you see this is the Colab document. We just opened this in Jupyter notebook and it's perfect, it's awesome, it's there. So you see, so all I can say is use these resources, maximize your use of these resources. Okay, use them wisely, use them as and when needed, to make your life easy, to make things really smooth for you and enjoy.